So I did one really simple thing in my agency that added 250K a month pretty much overnight. And I'm going to give it to you in this video. Just for context, my name is Bradley Riley. Last year, my agency did $6 million in revenue and cash collected. And I've also done over 8 figures in lifetime revenue for my agency, landed thousands of clients. We spent over 250 million on ads for our clients. So I know a thing or two when it comes to scaling agencies. And what I'm about to give you in this video is quite possibly one of the simplest things that I've done that's added the most revenue. So if you want that in your own agency and you're an established agency right now, then pay attention because these next few minutes could make you a lot of money. Right, first things first, just for context actually, before I go into anything. All of this here encompasses setters, appointment setters, okay? But we use them in a variety of different ways that basically skyrocketed our business. So the first one that I'm gonna give you is basically lapping up applications that didn't book. So we have a simple application funnel. We send traffic to an application process, we then qualify them or disqualify them, and if they're qualified, they book a call. The first place we use setters is contacting the people that completed the application and didn't book a call. Now we found that about 80 to 90% of people that don't book a call, it's simply a timing based issue. So there just wasn't a time on the calendar that actually worked with their other commitments. So by contacting them and just saying, hey, we noticed you completed your application but didn't book a call. Most of the time this is a timing issue. If that's the case, let me know and I can get you booked in. If it was something else getting in the way, I'd love to chat about that. 9 times out of 10, they come back and say, yes, it was just a timing issue. And then you can book them in. So maybe you need to book them a bit further out, or maybe you need to rejig some, other commitments in your closer's calendar. But it's a really easy way to get people that are keen as mustard to actually book a call. And if you're tracking your numbers right now and your cash per call is say £1,000, every single call that you book is worth £1,000 to you in cash collected, then heck, for 2 minutes of work to get them booked in the calendar to make another £1,000 is easy money. And if you're generating quite a few applications, you can see how quickly that can add up. 2 of those a day, extra calls booked, $2,000 a day in cash collected, $60,000 a month extra for the business, in something that's super easy to actually do. So how does this work in practice? We have a Zapier notification that goes off every single time somebody completes an application. It then fires into a Slack channel to say that they've completed the application. We then have the same when they book a call. Our setters keep an eye on that channel. If they notice that somebody applies and then within a few minutes they don't book a call, first port of call is they get straight on the phone. Only about 15% of people will actually answer that. So if they don't answer, we will send them a WhatsApp message and ideally a voice note, and we will send them an SMS and an email as well to make sure we're hitting them. So that's really important. Super easy, huge revenue upside, okay? The second thing is confirmation of appointments. Now, speed to lead is so important, okay? And back to this first point here. Speed to lead is also important when it comes to actually confirming calls. Now, obviously, as soon as somebody books a call, you want to confirm that. The quicker you can confirm that call, the better. Now, just for context here, we tracked this and our show up rates were over 85% for people that actually confirmed their booking with us, okay? And then for people that didn't confirm their booking, it was like super low, it was like 15% or something like that, right? So for us, it was like if we can get people to confirm their call, they're more likely to show up, okay? Now, just for context here, if you contact people within the first few minutes of making contact with your business for an application or a booked call versus waiting, they are something ridiculous, like 400% more likely to reply if you contact them within a few minutes. Paul Mosey speaks about all this time. So people are really keen and really interested for a short period of time. So if somebody's seen your ad, they've seen your marketing message and they've actually booked a call, they've completed an application. In that moment, they're in their buying mindset. You need to contact them when they're in that mindset, okay? And actually get them to confirm the call. Versus even waiting a few hours when they may be, less interested than when they were when they actually pulled the trigger and booked the call. So we want to make sure that you confirm your appointments within the first few minutes of them actually making contact. Again, same structure, ring them first, WhatsApp them second, text them and email them last, okay? Now, what's really interesting for this as well, just to know, WhatsApp has about a 98 to 99% open rate. So if you're in the UK or Europe and your prospects use WhatsApp, a really good indicator is if you WhatsApp them and they don't reply, they've seen it, so that kind of shows intent. So yeah, really powerful. Make sure you have somebody confirming those appointments, but do it as soon as possible, okay? Speed to lead is key. The third way we were using setters is old pipeline reactivation. Now this is crazy. we implemented this into the business and it transformed our revenue, because an average setter was basically going back and just trawling through all of our old leads and then rebooking them onto the calendar. Now we have thousands and thousands and thousands of leads in our old, in the CRM of our old pipeline of people that we just haven't contacted in months. So I brought on a setter to contact them. He was making $400-500 a day, and we were booking anywhere from 3 to 8 appointments every single day from each setter that we had attacking that old list. So if you now, maybe if you're a newer agency, this won't be so relevant, but if you've been in business a while and you have a CRM stacked with old leads, then it's a really, really great way to use them to actually go in and reactivate. And a nice simple metric for this is, you just got to think, like I said to you, if you're tracking your cash per call and for every call that you book, you collect £1,000 of cash and £3,000 of revenue, for every single call they book, that setter's basically generating that for the business. So if you know that they're booking 3 appointments a day at £1,000 cash collected, they're basically bringing in £3,000 a day, 5 days a week. They're bringing in 15 grand a week to your business, and you might be able to pay that setter, like a lowish base and then a decent commission on the back end. We pay our closers a 5% incentive of cash collected, so their incentive to not just set crap appointments, actually set appointments that they feel like are going to close. So again, a really nice, easy way, quick thing for you to make a decision on whether or not you should hire is work out your cash per call, okay? So that's for every call booked, not showed up, for every call booked in your business, how much cash do you collect? Very simply, take your cash collected and you divide that by the amount of calls that you've booked in that month. Go back and do a running total and see what on average that's worth. And then every time you book a call, that's how much cash you inject into the business day one. Okay, really powerful metric. And then when you do that, you can basically reverse engineer whether it makes sense to hire a setter and how many setters to actually hire. And then when you run the numbers on that, you're like, damn, I might be able to pay a setter 2 or 3 grand base plus 5% commission and essentially print like 60 grand a month in extra cash. Why am I not going to do that? Okay, so that was huge for us, and because we had so many old leads, we basically hired multiple setters to come in and attack those lists. Okay, then the final one is just basically slamming the hell out of hot leads, but like hot leads that cancelled appointments, that no-showed, and again, these apps that didn't book. So not all of these applications that didn't book reply first time. Again, we have people that are due to show up to calls, they cancel the calls, they no-show the calls. It's really important to do a really dense volume of follow-up and outreach to these people. Like most people just follow up once, they ring, they text, and they kind of leave it at that. You want to hit the hell out of them, okay? For context, we tell our setters, the day that they either no-show, they cancel, or they complete an application and don't book, we want to hit them 5 times on day 1, 3 times on day 2, and then drop it to every day 1 or 2 times a day for that first week. Because you want to make sure that you're really hitting them as much as humanly possible in that time frame. Because again, they're really interested for a short period of time. If you let that go beyond that and it falls into the reactivation pipeline, remember, like our setters are hitting hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars a day to set a few appointments. These guys are warm, okay? And whilst they're warm, you want to hit them. Even if they no-showed or cancelled, just a few days before when they booked their call, there was high intent. So if we can get in contact with them now, we're more likely to be able to re-engage those, which is really, really, really powerful. So I call it pronged follow-up. You want to hit them on phone calls, you want to hit them on WhatsApp, you want to hit them on text, you want to hit them on email, you want to do that multiple times a day, okay? And change up your follow-up style. The memes for us work a treat. Sending people the Mr. Bean waiting meme crushes for us, okay? Make it fun, change it up, okay? Don't just ring them and leave it, don't just text them and leave it, do all of the above and hit them dense for that 7-day period. And obviously after that, they can go back into the reactivation pipeline for your reactivation setters to hit them. But you want to make sure you've got somebody hitting these hot leads. Anyway, for us, when we started doing that with setters, we literally added 3 million a year our agency, and my hope is that you can do the same. By the way, if you are an established agency right now and you want to double your revenue and remove yourself from being the bottleneck of your business, maybe you're stressed out like crazy, maybe you want to scale, if your agency revenue looks like this, like a staircase, like you grow and then you plateau, you grow then you plateau. I've been there. My agency's plateaued all the way on different stages on the way up to 6 million a year. So if you want my personal support, my leadership team's personal support to help mentor and guide you to that next level, completely backed by a happiness and results guarantee, then click below. You can book an audit call with myself. We can have a chat and we can see if we can help you. All the best, and I will see you in the next video.